Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at another of these Attack Pack figures from the Camp Cretaceous line from Mattel, and you can see this is the Dimorphodon. As far as the packaging goes, you pretty much have your standard Attack Pack packaging, another one of those booklets back there, and then on the back we can get a look at some of the other figures in this wave of Attack Packs, which is the Alioramus, of course the one we're looking at right now, the Velociraptor, and the Brown Moosaurus, which is a very hard one to find, but definitely a lot of really cool figures. So let's go ahead and get this out of the packaging and take a look at it. So here is, he's not even on his feet because of his wings, but here is our newest version of the Dimorphodon. A huge thank you goes out to my buddy Greg from Dino Scream Reviews, who was able to purchase this in his area and then sell it to me so I can now have it in my area, because otherwise my area never gets any of the attack packs because my target is absolute garbage. But luckily I have awesome friends like Greg, who was kind enough to kind of go search this out for me, and now we have it here to take a look at. So really cool looking figure as per usual when it comes to these Dimorphodons at first glance. Really flashy paint scheme, almost looks like a fiery type of a look for our Dimorphodon. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at it right now. So we have actually looked at the sculpt of the Dimorphodon numerous times at this point. They've had plenty of Dimorphodon figures out from Mattel, so we don't really need to look at the sculpt or anything like that, just pretty much whatever is new with the figure. So as far as that goes, that's just the paint application. So up here in the face, you can see some really nice coloration to our Dimorphodon, if my camera would focus on the poor thing. So we've got like a really nice brown, like a dark brown that kind of runs through the reddish coloration of the Dimorphodon's face, and you can see it just kind of designs all over, and it really is very cool looking. I definitely like the way that looks. Very nice coloration to the head sculpt. You can see a nicely painted eye with a yellowish coloration. The pupil, of course, is just that brown coloration that we see in the background there. The inside of the mouth sports some quite nicely painted teeth for the most part. They don't really appear too sloppy, maybe a little bit, but nothing that's terrible. The inside of the mouth as well does have a very nice textured appearance to the tongue and everything. Even the detailing up there on the upper part of the inside of the mouth. Very nice coloration as far as the inside of the mouth and the tongue and everything goes. Very nice realistic coloration, I would say. You can see over here as well, beautifully painted, and shockingly the eyes are, it seems like, in the right place, so there's no real sloppiness with the eyes, which is something that we do tend to have to deal with from time to time. As we move down the back, you can see that brown continues to run down the back, but it ends pretty quickly right there around the mid-back area of our Dimorphodon. I love the sculpt of this. Really cool looking sculpt on the part of Mattel. They really outdo themselves with each and every sculpt that they release. But aside from that, you don't really see too much other paint on the back area of our Dimorphodon. You can, if you get nice and close, see there's like a little bit of a speckled appearance to it. Some speckles picking up here and there with, I guess, maybe that dark brown, which is, again, something Mattel does like to do, give us a little bit of color variation with that kind of speckly appearance that they do put on their figures. And then for the underside here, we have like a few different variations of color. We've got like an orangish color and a yellowish color, and they kind of mix together. And transition, they start out with like that orangish coloration and then transition out here to a yellow, and it looks really cool, honestly. And with the reddish coloration there for the back of the Dimorphodon, again, it almost looks like fire the way that this figure is painted, and it definitely comes off in really cool fashion. A really nice choice on the part of Mattel, and yet another really cool repaint, actually. You can also see that the lower jaw is painted with a gray, but that gray ends very abruptly as well, right there on the underside of the jaw, and then we have nothing other than that reddish coloration for the rest of the body. And then there is the Jurassic Facts app code if you would like to add this to your collection. But other than that, there's really nothing else going on with the Dimorphodon as far as new paint or anything goes. So let's go ahead and check out the articulation. So as far as articulation on the Dimorphodon, it does have quite a bit usually. We've got the articulated jaw, of course. We also have articulation in the neck, which I absolutely love. We also have articulation in the wings, as they can go and flap quite nicely up and down, and they can also swivel if you would like them to do that as well. And then you have articulation here on the underside with the legs as they can move back so that it's now in a soaring position, or forward. Here it's in kind of an attack positioning, like it's flying down to grab something to eat. But really cool as far as the articulation on the part of Mattel goes, but an absolutely beautifully sculpted Dimorphodon for sure. As far as the size goes for the wingspan, you are looking at around the 8-inch range, or about 20 centimeters. And then if we are going to take a look at the length of the Dimorphodon, if we bring the head up because now it's down, for a length you are going to see it at about the 5-inch range, or around 12.5 centimeters, somewhere around there. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon next to our Dimorphodon, and you should have a pretty good idea, I think, at this point, even without these figures, of what the size of the Dimorphodon is. Being an Attack Pack figure, you should already, if you are a collector of the Mattel series, have a pretty good idea of what a Dimorphodon is as far as size goes, but especially if it's an Attack Pack, the Attack Packs are usually pretty small, and definitely a nicely sized figure as far as a Dimorphodon goes, but nothing that is too large. So this Attack Pack Dimorphodon is another really cool version, another really cool variant of the Attack Pack Dimorphodon figures from Mattel, because they have released a ton of them at this point. We have plenty of Dimorphodons to go around, that's for sure. So it's nothing new, nothing crazy as far as the Mattel line goes. Again, we've had a ton of these Dimorphodon figures at this point, but it's cool to have kind of a flock of Dimorphodon, so you can have almost like an entire Jurassic World of Dimorphodons at this point. But again, they continue to come up with somewhat creative paint schemes for their Dimorphodons, so I am definitely appreciative of that fact. And with this one as well, again, really nicely sculpted. I didn't really mention the sculpt too much in this video because we've obviously reviewed the sculpt before, but the sculpt is definitely beautifully done continuously as far as the Mattel line goes, but specifically on this Dimorphodon. The paint application is pretty cool as well, but nothing that's crazy and nothing that's so amazing you absolutely have to buy it. It's still a pretty cool looking paint scheme, and I do like that fiery type of a look for the underside of the Dimorphodon, but it's not anything that I would say you have to absolutely run out and have in your collection. It's not a must-have or anything like that, but still a pretty cool figure overall, and I can say that if you do stumble upon it, it is worth picking up, especially if you don't have any of the other Dimorphodons from Mattel. It's definitely worth picking up then, but either way, still a pretty cool release again from the Mattel Jurassic World line. So if you would like to pick this up, my suggestion is head to your local Target, as they should hopefully have it in stock sometime soon if they don't already, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.